This Stanley number 3 is a beauty and it's begging to be restored. Why would you want a number 3? I want it for cleaning up the end grain on joints like this, and of course, to add it to my collection. The ones I use the most are the 4s, and I reckon the number 3 will be very useful as well. I don't like to go overboard in my restorations, and my goal is for it to end up looking the same as my other planes in my collection. But this lever cap is pretty bad. Lots of rust there. And this wood will need to be refinished to match. It's good that it looks really well oiled, except I think that's hiding the rust and the bare metal in spots. So it may need a repaint. Touching up some scratches made with a scraper. This stain is amazing and it's practically free. Using household items, steel wool, vinegar, that's it. I didn't think the electrolysis was working that well, so I took it out and gave it a degrease and a clean, and it's not that rusty, but as I suspected, the paint's pretty poor. So what I'm going to do is put it back in the bath overnight and repaint it. This has been in there for 72 hours now, and I got sidetracked with another project, but that's okay because I wanted to leave it in there extra long to strip off the paint. Well, that's the plan anyway. Well, there goes the red paint. Okay, it's ready for painting. Same with that. This here, I accidentally took off some of the stain. That was a blessing in disguise. I tried the iron acetate stain that I made the other week, and it obviously turned out beautiful. And it just now needs a couple more coats of shellac, and that'll be finished. This is actually my least favourite part. To do it properly, you knock out this pin and remove this, but I don't have a pin punch, so I'll just tape it up. That was a heavy coat, but no runs. This is where I'm at. For a plane that looked like it was in good condition, this one sure has needed quite a lot of work. This needs a bit of a clean up. If I had a pin punch, I would have removed it. The finish is great on these, but this part needs the base flattened so it doesn't rock. The paint job on this one is fantastic, probably the best I've done yet. This lever cap is a little disappointing. It's perfectly functional and good as it is, but this chrome surface looks like rubbish, and ideally what needs to be done is that's stripped off and re-chromed, but I don't know how to do that yet. These parts were completely rusted. I've cleaned them up, oiled them, still a bit of tarnish on them, but the plane's not going to be brought up to showroom condition. It's still going to look old, so this is the look I'm going for. This part's now okay. I may need to resurface that face there if it doesn't sit flat. This part's okay also. It was covered in oil, and you can actually see the oil mark, the high tide mark. The back is smooth, but there are some micro pits there that need to be polished out. The edge is not 90 degrees. It needs a complete new bevel and then a sharpen. This surface is flat. I've touched the high spots with a stone and it just needs a clean. And that will do. This has got a reverse thread. This paint is oil resistant, so that's another reason I like it. Bit of board linseed oil on that bare wood. Make sure you watch it till the end to see the test. Looking good. I just watched Matt Esley's video on how to sharpen a chisel, and I'm glad I did, because one, it was entertaining, and two, it was jam-packed full of information. The tip that I got out of it was you need a sharpening jig. You see, I just measured that then. It takes time and could be slightly inaccurate. With a jig, you're spot on every time. He doesn't show you this. Okay, that'll do. This is my core script stone. Now I need to adjust this to 30 degrees. Oh, hang on. Shit, just made a mistake. You wouldn't believe it. I just put a 30-degree initial bevel on this plane. Razor sharp. I'm supposed to put a 25-degree and then a 30-degree micro bevel. I definitely need that Matt Esley adjustment jig. So basically I need to do that again, but I'm feeling lazy. That is now very sharp. See that gap between the chip breaker and the blade? This needs to be flattened. If you don't do this, you end up with jammed chips. So I'm resting it here on the edge of the stone to get the right height. You want it to be as low as possible. And that surface has to be flat. Now to test it, I'll start off with a piece of pine. Okay, that's a pass, and that is unbelievably smooth. Smoother than what you get with a sandpaper. And now a piece of merbau. Some people call it merbo. What is it? Pretty good. I can't fault that. I'd say that's a pass. The Stanley 3 is a nice plane. I recommend it. Compared to the Stanley 4, it's a bit narrower. Tiny bit shorter. And the thing I don't get is, that's the 3. Why has the 3 got a bigger handle than the 4? Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.